Hey, what's up, everyone? How you guys doing, man? Just about to start my Monday Night Raw review. My folks are sleeping, so that's why I'm keeping on the down low. So, this is my average normal voice. So, this is my best review. So it's Monday Night Raw reviews on Martin Luther King Day, and sorry I haven't been getting around to my Monday Night Raw review. I've been doing some stuff this past week. I was busy, so glad I could do this review. So, here goes nothing. So yeah, this Monday Night Raw review took place back on Martin Luther King Day, and this was the best Monday Night Raw special on Martin Luther King Day, because I had a dream that one day we were going to get the best Raw ever, the best closing of Raw ever, and indeed, that was our dream. So here goes nothing. This was Monday Night Raw took place. The show opened up with John Cena opening a good promo. I actually liked this promo. It was very interesting, very entertaining, because it did playback so that happened 3 weeks ago. It was shown on a Titantron, so it looked like this. Like, this was last year. It was 3 years ago. This is what he basically talked about. So, it cut off where he was like, oh, this is what happened 3 weeks ago. And indeed, it was supposed to be David Otunga call it a truce. John Cena refused to take the truce, and he forced him to walk backward. Or if they try to hit him or throw hands, it was funny, and they see what happened. So, indeed, this is what their personal payback was. Indeed, it was. So apparently, we got CM Punk asking Nexus to beat up John Cena, and indeed, CM Punk did nail the go to sleep on John Cena apparently. So the Nexus got refreshed, pushed the reset button on him. It was great. And indeed, this was 3 weeks ago. So he claimed that last year. Yeah, it was 3 weeks ago, 2010. So now it was 2011. He now is ready to move on and start fresh, and get ready to beat up CM Punk and compete in this match tonight. That's what his promo was, and he says, "Oh, his New Year's resolutions to win the Royal Rumble, take down CM Punk," and I think this was the funniest. So this was his claim his New Year's resolution was, and I did like the New Year's resolution review. It was very good. So indeed, that's what we got. CM Punk, he said he's a deranged psychopath. And those were his 4 New Year's resolution lists. Then 4 was to become WWE Champion. After that, The Miz comes out and cuts a promo. And he cuts out the best promo, saying that, oh, he's not going to beat me for WWE Champion. That he's going to come out on top. And apparently he did. And then John Cena claimed that, oh, the reason The Miz is still continued WWE Champion because Alex Riley's interference and Michael Cole's interference. Indeed, was in the table match. He had to use Alex Riley to push Randy Orton through the table. He had to use Michael Cole to distract him long enough that Jerry Lawler gets pissed off that Cole beats him up, and then Miz gets a title advantage. And then he beats Jerry Lawler for the WWE Champion, and nails Jerry Lawler out. So he said Jerry Lawler would have been WWE Champion. Indeed, that wasn't. So that wasn't the case, but apparently that's what we got. So moving on after this, so he says that, oh, with 40 participants, chances are small. And my little thoughts about the 40 participants of Royal Rumble, I think it's just going to fill up time because they're trying to get more jobbers in the 40 participants. Indeed, this is what we're getting. Darren Young, Primo, Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, Chavo Guerrero, who else? JTG. Yeah, these people at small are mostly the jobbers. But hopefully Drew McIntyre wins the Royal Rumble. It would be great if he wins it. That would be a good surprise. But hopefully it's not the obvious main eventers. So, indeed, that's what we got. So, John Cena cuts a promo. He cuts off a comedy promo, which was very good. And, so, yeah, that's what we got. So, moving on after this. So he says, oh, I'm The Miz, and he said he was going to finish after beating up Randy Orton. And indeed he did later that night. So we get CM Punk to pull out a promo, and so CM Punk gives praise to The Miz claiming The Miz is WWE champion, and John Cena's not. So he's saying what John Cena is saying so far worthless, and indeed that's what we got apparently. So so this is what the promo that CM Punk cut it. Basically, he said he will not be WWE champion. He says chances are small. Lower there ever been 40 participants. So I think the 40 participant concept is going to be a little bit weird. So this is where I'm just going to give my little thoughts on the 40 participants of Royal Rumble. With the number of rosters, superstars that have been released from the WWE, this was quite surprising. So I don't know if they're going to have people from NXT competing in the Royal Rumble. I don't know if that would happen because they haven't become the next breakout star, become the next WWE superstar, or even brought a WWE contract. So that's what they could do, or get that, because they might be in the Royal Rumble. So that's why they're probably doing 40 now. But with the rosters, I think getting small, because we don't see much other rosters except the ones on WWE Superstar. I don't know what's the purpose of filling that void. So I don't know why they would fill the void, I think. So apparently that's what we got. So with CM Punk beat down Nexus, Santino Coswell gets a little sniff some payback after them getting beat up last week. So indeed that's what we got. So they claim that CM Punk is CM Punk's new crew, the Nexus, has been banned from ringside, and now CM Punk has to fend for himself one-on-one against Cena. Indeed, that's what we got, and they pulled off a great match, great phenomenal match. I actually did like it. So back from commercial break, we got the tag team match. This match was actually quite good pace, a lot of unpredictability. The Usos getting a huge upper hand, and surprisingly, Coswell didn't pull the tag. They pull off a good upper hand, and then they were able to pull off a comeback and pull off the quick win, which was the most surprising win. I'm hoping Tamina turns on Santino, gets back with the Usos. That would be so epic. That would be so legacy epic. But Tamina looking beautiful as always. So I don't know who should date in real life, but that doesn't really matter. But yeah, point is they got the win, and this is just so incredible. So Tamina's still sticking with Santino, because it starts Tamina after Santino gets refereeing a match and Kozlov. Tamina appears in the ring and starts showing some feelings for him. So that's how it started off, and it was quite shocking. So Tamina came to Santino, not the other way around. So that was very surprising. So hopefully Tamina eventually soon gets back with the Usos, or if the draft happens, yeah, they can quietly end the storyline. So that'd be so great. So yeah, after that we have a segment where CM Punk claims that there is faith. Basically after Nexus discussion about doubts and other comments like that, like how CM Punk could have beat Cena. This is all what CM Punk said after showing up in the locker room. So that's what we got with CM Punk's new refreshing Nexus. I'll probably change it to the Society. That's what I'm considered, the Nexus Society. So you never know. So CM Punk's really having full confidence now. He's going to have faith. So after a segment with John Cena and the Bellas, it was quite odd that he sees I thought it was going to be a tag team match when you come to think of it, or come to see this match, but it turned out it was a credible one-on-one match. And this match was actually quite good. I actually was tuned into that match, because when you see faces, you actually see like an actual sport. It was actually a lot of charisma. This match was very good, very even paced. Actually tuned into that match. I was surprised and thought Daniel Bryan was going to win, but yeah, man, John Morrison is just, he's incredible. But yeah, he may not be WWE Championship, but I think he does have main event potential. He may wind up being WWE Champion, having a brief title reign, but I think he does have potential. And that was just an incredible break from that bell lock. It was just phenomenal. I'm surprised he won by the running knee. That was unbelievable. He should do that sharp pain, but I don't know why he changed it though. So that's the most surprising part that brought up the 1, 2, 3. But yeah, overall, the match was very incredible. It's like that was like the most unpredictable match. It looked like a real wrestling match, or it looked like an actual wrestling match that was like an actual sport. And that's something you got to see nowadays. It is just very surprising. That's just incredible. So you try to help them up, shake hands and stuff. Eventually, that's what the faces always do to each other. Shake hands, show sportsmanship stuff, make it like a real sport. So eventually, Sheamus comes out, Sheamus comes out and claims that, yeah, that was a great match, but he claims that he's going to be winner of the Royal Rumble because, he's King Sheamus. So that's what Sheamus basically says, take your game to another level and stuff like that. But it was just good promo so far. But yeah, it was actually an okay promo for Sheamus to pull. But Bella Twins was still hanging around ringside. But that's what we got apparently. So after that, we move on to get Stand Up for WWE. Yeah, my last review about Stand Up for WWE, I found out how ridiculous it was, so I decided to do another review for Stand Up for WWE, which I'm gonna try to upload eventually soon. So, moving on, we have the Bellas pull out of the seg, and I don't know, this is the part that kind of got to me a little bit, because WWE's like making PG like a big shadow of the product. So, John Morrison is so handsome. So, they come out having these weird sexual intentions, and this is the thing that it's PG, it's not TVG, so there's some stuff they could slip in on PG show, like the nanny. She could talk about sleep with someone, wear skimpy outfits. Same thing with Royal Pains and stuff like that. So he's talking about being aggressive. You're talking about who Daniel Bryan had there first. I thought about who Daniel Bryan's first girlfriend, or who he saw first, may win. So, say maybe the best Bella will win. This would be quite interesting, though. So, I'm kind of tuning in. I mean, I'm not really tuning into this, but I think it's just ridiculous to get this type of push. One of Bella should be with John Morrison, not Derek Bateman, because we know Derek Bateman is clearly a loser. He claimed to be a loser. Well, he's a rookie. Rookies are always losers because they're always, purposely low class, and that's what they're supposed to be. Low class, or no class at all. Stick to low class. So, with Vicky coming out, SmackDown consultant, I gotta talk about a little bit after what happened on Friday Night SmackDown, the closing of Friday Night SmackDown. It was an okay promo for Vicky to pull off that promo towards Edge about the history and stuff and get all that garbage out. It's kind of funny how they just carried it out back in 2008, but I think they should have got that cleared. So I want to see how something new that may happen towards Vicky and Edge, because Dolph Ziggler is hung around by Vicky, and that's why Dolph Ziggler's been getting this push, because of Vicky Guerrero. And that's what I'm thinking that may happen. It's like, if it wasn't for Vicky Guerrero, Dolph Ziggler would just be mid-card or just be a plain jobber. But he won Intercontinental Champion with Maria, who Maria hasn't been doing anything in her. And Maria has been having weak promos, and she hasn't been really doing as much besides hanging with guys like Matt Hardy or Dolph Ziggler. And Vicky was more worth it, and she actually could really have charisma, and she could really carry herself out. So this is the best gimmick so far, where she says, "Excuse me!" I say it to a friend of mine named Vicky all the time. It's so hilarious. So she introduces her boyfriend Dolph Ziggler, which was it turned out to be quite well. So he gets in the ring, he gets ready for his match, and I think hopefully if after this Vicky Dolph Ziggler thing kind of wears out, I want to see if he can be a main eventer on his own. That's what I'm hoping that may happen. Same thing with Layla. I'm hoping that they break out very well on their own. She won 2006 Diva Search. I can't see her going anywhere for a while. They released too many Diva Search winners, which was Ashley and Christy Hammay. Ashley had to take care of her daughter. She was around for a while, but she had to take care of her daughter, I heard. And I think, she dated Paul London, I heard, and Matt Hardy. But, that's why she had to quit, so she could have been still around. Christy Hammay, I don't know why she get released. So, Dolph Ziggler's been getting this push because of Vicky Guerrero, and then they threw Edge under the bus. So they threw all that history stuff under the bus, but they want to get all that stuff out. So I have to say, if I was there for that, I would say Vicky always had class. It's just like Edge manages to catch Vicky off guard a couple of times in 2008. So she always had power. She was general manager, Raw general manager, and SmackDown general manager. She was able to push Teddy Long off of SmackDown, and Teddy Long resigned because of Vicky's unfair general management. So, with Vicky catering to those guys, I think that's her heel tactic, and that's the best she can do. It's like, if she was assistant general manager, she could favor all the other heels, because she's to manage Chavo Guerrero, but, she was crying because Chavo Guerrero blamed her for his loss, and I think after her taking time off TV for a while, they were able to push her up to a bigger or stronger gimmick after being Teddy Long's assistant, and the heel turn was even better when she made out with Edge and they claimed that they were a couple. So that was the best part there, and that turned out to be very fair. So I really think for Dolph Ziggler, hopefully he kind of earned this push, but I think it looked a little too rushed. Same thing with Lay Cool with the storyline with Piggy James. I think all that stuff was very quite rushed. I have to say the least. Apparently, all that stuff was kind of rushed. But anyway, So anyway, Dolph Ziggler match against Randy Orton starts off with Ziggler getting upper hand, a surprising upper hand, and then Randy Orton, supposed to mostly dominate the match. I didn't think it would be a squash match, but Dolph Ziggler usually gets cheap shots there, and that's how he gets a full upper hand, which was the knee to help him get the upper hand. So he got some sort of advantage. But Randy Orton somehow managed to turn it around. But then there was this nastiest finishing move counter that really worked off very well. It was just incredible. So with Dolph Ziggler trying to trap Randy Orton, who's also a monster sleeper hole, Randy Orton somehow manages to escape. That was the case. But Randy Orton counters and gets the ropes. Luckily enough, the ropes were able to get advantage. He tries to do it, and he counters to the RKO. That was just more. Randy Orton is actually an epic charismatic wrestler when it comes to finishing moves. People are saying he's boring, has limited moves, but if it comes to his finishing move, he has so much charisma with that move. I think he really did earn his way to get up there. But after the match is over, The Miz and his boyfriend Alex Riley comes down to beat up Randy Orton, or The Miz's valet Alex Riley comes down to beat up Randy Orton apparently. So indeed he beat him up all the way through the match. Jerry Lawler tries to step in and make peace, but that wasn't the case. Jerry Lawler wanted to get thrown over the barricade. But yeah, he tries to strike out Riley, but I don't know how Jerry Lawler get totally massacred from that one throw over. But he's 61, so he could have not handled that velocity. So it's kind of realistic. And he says, "I'm The Miz. I'm awesome." And that was quite a good promo. Saying in his pantsuit. Oh yeah, that was classic. Classic moment. I actually love that. So, as a commercial, we get into the Divas. And indeed, so CM Punk claims his faith. After CM Punk summit his faith. And, trust and quality, loyalty, stuff like that. So again, Melina's been quiet and still wearing this beautiful black hair. She kept her hair completely dark and black, like she was a face. But yeah, they're trying to develop a new heel character for Melina. I think that's what they're trying to work on. I think it's working off very well. She's supposed to be the silent heel because she used to be this loud motor mouth heel, which probably I don't know people who PG fans who watch this stuff. I mean, in TV 14 she used to be this motor mouth, drop the B word. She was Maria, and she was very, very egotistical, especially when she was with Johnny Nitro and Mercury. But because she's on her own, I think they're trying to repackage a new heel for her. So if they plan on turning back face, hopefully she gets some sort of alliance. Indeed, powerful heel. So Eve Torres did most of the commentating, while Melina stayed quiet halfway. So hopefully during the final night of the Royal Rumble, I don't know when's the Royal Rumble will be. Yeah, it's gonna be probably January 30th. So that's when we're gonna get our pay-per-view. So that's what I'll be tuning into. Apparently, I'll be excited about that. But yeah, Melina stays silent. So Maurice gets a good upper hand through the match. Apparently, this match was very good, and Maurice did well dominant match. But it turned out Natalya was able to completely turn around the match. The match was just incredible. It was quite very well, and it was just it went off fairly well. And then Natalya was just nailed off a nasty clothesline like this. She knows how to turn around the match quickly, and indeed she did, doing the sharpshooter, doing the major clothesline, which cut them off. Which got Maurice, had him had to make a tap out. Maurice almost got close to the ropes, but that was the case. Indeed, she did tap out. So that's what turned off. So after the commentating thing, released Maria after they left, it transitioned to a promo where DiBiase appeared, and then he did a challenge to talk to a over the top rope. Indeed, Maurice called DiBiase a loser. Blame people calling almost everyone a loser. So DiBiase decides to stand up and do a challenge. So indeed, I like how the promos transitioned. It transitioned to DiBiase doing the over the top rope. So it was kind of a good. I kind of had a good taste of it, but I just didn't like how DiBiase went over the top rope. I mean, it was like ridiculous. I mean, that's what made DiBiase look like a loser. And indeed, could have put the money in the mouth. This DiBiase should have just did the clothesline over the rope. We tried to, but luckily that backfired. So I know everyone's getting tired of DiBiase looking like a total jobber ever since dropping that $1 million title. Indeed, he's been going downhill a little bit. So hopefully, everyone's been hoping that he gets back up from this this whole loser shebang, and that she gets some sort of push, because that's what I'll be hoping for the most part. So everyone tries to beat down Mark Henry. Indeed, as Zack Ryder, Primo, Yoshitatsu, R-Truth, everyone tries to throw her over, throw Mark Henry over. Indeed, that did backfire, but the over the top rope match actually was a surprisingly good match. It was okay pay-per-view. So after Zack Ryder gets thrown over, Sheamus tries to throw him over, and I thought Sheamus would throw him over, but indeed that did backfire, quite frankly, which was the case. And Zack Ryder should have got thrown out. Indeed, he immediately threw out Zack Ryder, which wasn't a surprise at all. So Sheamus threw out 3 guys, which turned out to be quite well. And then he tried to throw out Mark Henry, but apparently that almost backfired. But this was actually turned out to be a good match between Sheamus and Mark Henry. They've been pulling off the best match. This is where Mark Henry pulls off the best push. This is where Sheamus pulls off the best push. And Sheamus is always a bomb wrestler. He can take on a 400-pound man, because he's only 286 pounds. So Mark Henry can't take out Sheamus, apparently. So indeed, that did backfire. So Bro Del Rio pulls off the promo. I'm a Bro Del Rio. I'll be winning the Royal Rumble. That's what he basically did, which was no surprise. So we didn't have the Spanish commentator, his personal ring announcer, come on out. So so he gets the world's strongest man doctor, which can create, that's Derek Bateman. He's also a nerd. That's what makes him such a weirdo. And he did got immunity points, so hopefully he becomes the next breakout star. I just hoping Conor O'Brien was the runner-up. I think that would be great. So he did like this NFL historical Royal Rumble stuff, which sounds like the NFL a little bit. And there were 2 women, Beth Phoenix and Chyna, that were in the Royal Rumble. Dean Chyna was in the Superstar class, so this wasn't really much of a surprise, to say the least. So yes, after all that, we get the Edge, who's currently going to be facing Dolph Ziggler. Let's see how good a match they can display. Randy Orton versus The Miz in this pimp suit. And we're going to do Natalya and Melina. Let's see if they can pull off a good match. Hopefully they don't have Laycool get involved at any point. But yeah, Melina will probably be worked, because they got rid of Jillian, so they try and put... And Tamina's probably having signs of a face turn. Indeed she is. So they try and throw Melina in there as the heel void right there to balance it out. So I like how they even the field. So Edge versus The Miz. I'll see how that match turns out. I'm hoping that match turns out good, Edge versus The Miz, because he's awesome. So this is what we got. So John Cena pulled out backstage promo of releasing his DVD, getting ready for his match. So that's what we were getting to see. So here comes CM Punk looking at his leaders, Faith, and they lift their arms off. So this is the best development for CM Punk having this society, because the straight edge society thing just backfired. Luke Gallows, I don't think, and Serena Deeb were fired, and Luke Gallows got fired because he didn't have much push, and he wasn't doing very well on his own. Joey Mercury's injured, so I don't know if Joey Mercury would come in the void as a member of Nexus. So this is where this is where CM Punk is getting new and refreshed. And Heath Slater and Gabriel are on SmackDown with Wade Barrett, which indeed Wade Barrett and Big Show did pull off a good match. But Slater and Gabriel, I didn't know they were going to officially walk out of Nexus, and I didn't know they were going to officially walk out of Nexus. Indeed they did, and they want to stick to Wade Barrett. So this is where it turns out very good. They did the whip and stuff. And Slater and Gabriel refused to whip each other with the kendo sticks, so they just walked out, just dropped the sticks and go. So they probably didn't like the new leadership from CM Punk. But David Otunga and Husky Harris and Michael McGillicuddy, indeed, they pull off the best discipline for Straight Society, or the Society, which is the Nexus. So CM Punk's doing a good job taking Nexus to a new level. And so they fill in that void of Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel's, them leaving Nexus. So you get John Cena, and John Cena and CM Punk actually pull off a good match. And John Cena he's very charismatic. He's very interesting. So, I mean, John Cena's not going to be released, but yeah, John Cena's taking a hiatus, a good vacation from the WWE Championship. So, yeah, this match was actually turned out to be a good match, and I was quite impressed with how this match turned out. So, yes, CM Punk gets a good upper hand in the match. Indeed, he always gets the upper hand. And this is where the end gets so phenomenal. The end was so phenomenal. John Cena tries to do the STF, and he actually got the ropes. And then CM Punk did this huge, crazy, nut casing anaconda vice. That was just, man, how can John Cena survive that? Man, I just freaked out. How could John Cena survive that? I would have tapped out immediately to that anaconda vice. Indeed, that's what JTG did. Tapped down 3 seconds or 10 seconds, and he was a jobber. JTG was a jobber, but John Cena right there was just getting strangled. And this is what really rocked house. And John Cena just tried to survive. Oh man, this was just the most scariest move, the most dangerous move of how CM Punk did his anaconda vice. Oh man, but luckily enough, John Cena was able to make it because he's Super Cena. So, man, that just creeped me out. Oh, man, that was just the heck of a main event match. Indeed, he did make it. He made it. He survived. And John Cena was just knocked out because he got so tired from the... what do you call it? That anaconda vice. But indeed, he did nail out one of his signature moves, that leg drop. Oh! Wow, man. 1, 2, obviously we'll kick out, but they try to make us surprise. Like, oh, it was supposed to be a 3 count. So CM Punk did nail him the kick. Oh, yes, kick to the back of the head. And then this new guy who looks like Batista. He doesn't really look like Batista to me, but he has a similarity, some resemblance to him. He could be Batista's twin brother, if I was to say. And indeed, you could say he was. So he gets this guy, who's a good Batista impression after Batista quit, for him to do a sacrifice, which helps CM Punk get the win, get out there. So CM Punk just puts his hands out like this, and this was the best sacrifice CM Punk did. I just love CM Punk's personality. It's just so incredible, so phenomenal. Man, it just blows me away. It just kind of blows my mind out. Oh man, and this got CM Punk the win instead of CM Punk pinning 3. So the Nexus all try to protect Mason Ryan, but indeed that wasn't the case because CM Punk decides to crown Mason Ryan a member of Nexus. Man, that was just the best night. This night just blew my mind away. I was so glad that happened, and that was just so impressive. So impressive move for Mason Ryan to be crowned the member of Nexus. Filling that void of Slater and Gabriel. If Sheffield's back, man, the Nexus will be a still existing powerhouse. Or if you go to SmackDown during Wade Barrett's group, that'll be Dominant Force, because now Wade Barrett are now with Slater, Gabriel, and Ezekiel Jackson, who turned heel again on SmackDown when he was a face on Raw, and he had tons of squash matches. Man, this was the best this was a good main event Monday Night Raw. Man, it opened up a lot for Nexus. Nexus gets refreshed, gets on a new management, gets the new reset button refreshed. So this is getting even better than this. So thank you guys, man. This is my review. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's Renal Khalid, Surrender Extreme, taking you to the extreme.